Bulldogs are having quite the season this year. They're coming off of a win over Jackson State. I want to see that. Ohio State would whoop them, and then we're going to come back on the show, and I'm going to tell both of you that I told you so. Now, even though Alabama got the convincing win over Texas A&M, Coach Saban said there's still work to be done. Now, next week, they'll be back at home as they take on Tennessee, who's coming off of a huge conference win over Mississippi State. Hey, guys, welcome to another episode of Cruising with Charity. I tell them that you kind of put me out there, put me on the spot.
Yeah, I just saw other people doing it, and I wanted to get it on the charity train.
Hey guys, I'm here at the Huntsville Quarterback Club with former Auburn head coach turned SEC Network analyst Gene Chizik. Thanks for being with me today.
Absolutely, Charity.
I know you're kind of more of a defensive guy. Going into the season, Auburn was said to have one of the best defensive lines in the country. What do you think of their performance so far this season?
I think they've been outstanding.
Now, guys, like I said, it really was the Devontae show here tonight. He ended up with 5 touchdowns, 274 yards, both of which broke school records for receiving touchdowns and yards in a single game. Now, we caught up with him after the game, and he said it's not really about the stats. It's all about just helping out the team. People like Minka Fitzpatrick, Ronnie Harrison, who are no longer there defensively. I know you're a defensive guy. Yeah. Defensively, they have a lot of holes to fill in the secondary. Who are we expecting to step up to fill those roles? I'm looking forward to the cold weather. I was in Tuscaloosa this weekend.
I think we all are.
Yeah, it was 115 on the field in Tuscaloosa.
That's just wrong.
I was pouring sweat. Welcome back, guys. I'm here at the Von Braun Center where the Huntsville Havoc is having their annual Meet the Team party. It's where fans get a chance to meet and greet some of the players, the coaches, pick up season tickets, and my favorite part, get some free food and free drink. It looked like they were trying to get you the ball down in the post a lot. Were y'all trying to kind of get after that mismatch?
Yeah, we was trying to.
That's right, Mike. It's been one of the biggest talking points in college football across the nation this weekend. Tua Tagovailoa going down with an injury. When we come back, hear when Saban thinks he'll be able to make a return. Stay with us. If you're a Titans fan, I feel for you. I mean, at least your team isn't as bad as the Redskins, the Dolphins, or even the Bengals, but I know y'all still aren't pleased with that 2-4 record right now. But I gotta say, changes are underway. Just a few minutes ago, the Titans announced that Ryan Tannehill will now be their starting quarterback. Here in Death Valley, all the talk is about the Tigers' defense, but today it was actually Alabama who controlled that side of the ball, which was led by defensive lineman Quinnen Williams. So during media days, I asked Coach Malzahn what role they see him playing this year. You really kind of utilized Jordan Peters last season in numerous different ways, corner, star, safety. What role do you see him playing this year, and how much do you think he'll contribute?
Yeah, Jordan Peters has the flexibility to play all.
Growing up, my favorite thing about homecoming were these things. They're called moms. Apparently, it's only a Texas thing. I thought all high schools across the country did this. But anyways, I guess I'll go first. Charity, you go. Yeah, I feel like we saw two completely different teams in the first half and the second half as far as Alabama is concerned. The first half, I've talked time and time again on this show that I feel like this year, Alabama's defense isn't really what we're used to seeing. LSU completely dominated them on offense. They racked up 33 points in the first half alone. As far as offense for Alabama, I mean, we saw two crucial mistakes. Tua fumbling the ball in the red zone. It was kind of a mistake that I really never saw before, really kind of bizarre. And then, of course, that interception with about 30 seconds left in the first half, which led the Tigers to another touchdown right before the half. Like I mentioned, going into the locker room, the Tigers led 33-13. Second half, completely different story. Alabama came out on defense, completely shutting out LSU in the third quarter. Offensively, they came with a different game plan. They said, we're going to give the ball to Najee Harris, and we're just going to run the ball down their throat. And that they did. It worked. And with them doing that, it allowed their passing game to open up. And I feel like Tua really took advantage of those one-on-one matchups, the wide receivers going up against the DBs. And I feel like 8 times out of 10, we saw when it was those one-on-one matchups, Alabama's receivers really kind of dominated. So I feel like if Alabama would have played the way they did in the second half the whole game, probably would have been a different story and maybe even a different outcome. By now, I'm sure you've heard the talk of Avery Johnson's time at Alabama possibly coming to an end. We all know it was a less than stellar year. Their game against Norfolk State in the NIT, perfect way to sum up their season. Of course, as the coach, the man in the driver's seat, ultimately the blame is always going to fall back on you. But there is one thing that no coach, no matter how great you are, can teach or instill in their players. And that is passion, will, and the desire to win. I mean, how is Avery supposed to coach players who have outright said that they lack motivation or don't have the right attitude? You mean to tell me you're playing at a Division I university, but yet you don't have any will to win? If you have no passion, no desire to win, you should not be playing ball at the next level. If you need a coach to get you pumped up, amped up to win the game, competitive sports just aren't for you. As a former athlete, I never needed a coach to make me want to win. I hated losing so much that was motivation enough. So while the blame will ultimately fall on Avery, as it should, the players need to take a good long look at themselves and say maybe, just maybe, This isn't the path for me.